All righty, here we go. Brand new Flyers Daily for the 11th of June, 2025. Flyers Daily, as usual, brought to you by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. Oh, it is a mid-July Flyers Daily episode, counting down the days to another season. But in this episode, we're going to pivot a little bit. We're going to hear Denver Barkey next week on Wednesday from Flyers Development Camp, because in this episode, we're going to hear from Flyers forward free agent signing Christian Dvorak. And when you see Dvorak's name, you automatically assume, oh, he's a Czech guy. Nah, he's American. He's born in Illinois. He's a big Chicago Bears fan and a Cubs fan. And he's coming to Philadelphia. So let's get right to our conversation with the Flyer free agent acquisition. Christian Dvorak, he joined me coming up, I guess, on Thursday afternoon. So here's my conversation with the Flyers prospect, Christian Dvorak. It is a brand new Flyers Daily. We're in the offseason. We're in that mode of waiting down and counting down to another season. And I'm sure players are starting to get back on the ice. One of the recent additions is going to join us on this episode. It is Christian Dvorak. Christian, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. The offseason is underway. You've got a new team. It's your third NHL team. In free agency, you signed the one-year deal with the Flyers. Why the Flyers?
Yeah, there's multiple factors. That they seem very interested in me, and I felt wanted, which was huge. And I think it's just a great opportunity for me. They kind of communicated to me that they're a little bit thin down the middle, so I thought I'd be a great fit for them. Lots of opportunity, and just to be a guy that could play a 200-foot game, play in all situations. Play with good players, play against good players, and I'm just really excited for the opportunity with the Flyers.
How much a part of your decision was Rick Tocchet being the head coach? So I know you played for him before. You had some good years under him in Arizona when you first popped into the NHL. How much of that kind of went into the equation with that, knowing what to expect from the head coach?
Yeah, that certainly helps, right? Being familiar with him, playing under him for a handful of years, having some good years under him too. So, I know what he's like. He's great with the players, especially the young guys, which there's a lot of, highly skilled young guys on our team. So I think he's going to be great with them, take them, to another level with their game. And I think I could do that too. I thought I had pretty happy with my game last year, and I'm still kind of looking to, take my game to another level as well. And I think he could help me with that.
You decided to bet on I love when guys bet on themselves. And you're 29 now, and you're in this rising cap NHL. I think, like, I look at it, I go, man, why would people sign long-term deals right now? You don't know what the economics are going to be. But you sign a one-year deal, you bet on yourself. Part of that equation, Philadelphia wanted you, but it's also the Flyers are a team right now, the land of opportunity for a center that can still do a lot in the NHL. Is that part of the thinking in why you came to Philadelphia and accepted a one-year deal?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. I'm not too worried about looking into the future and what could happen next summer or anything like that. But it's definitely motivating being on a one-year contract. Coming off a contract year last year too, obviously. So, I was comfortable with it, and Philly gave me a great opportunity, and I thought I couldn't turn it down. Like I said, I still think I have more in the tank offensively, and want to take my game to another level. And they were really interested in me. So, like I said, I think it's going to be a good fit.
Do you play with any of the guys on the team right now? Do you have any guys that you know? I mean, you played, you started in the USHL with Chicago, and you went through and played in the OHL with London. There's a lot of London connections here in Philadelphia. Maybe not guys you played with in junior, but is there some guys here that you know and played with?
Actually, no, not really. Never played with anyone. I do know Zegras a little bit. Met him a couple years ago, and we chat a little bit after he found out I was coming to Philly. So he's a great guy, but he's actually the only guy I know personally.
Wow, it's interesting because you think of the NHL as all these teams and all these players, and a lot of times there are so many connections in there, and there's a lot of connections with the London Knights, and we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. Where's your game right now? you're at that point in your career. You're a mature player at this point. You said there's more to give offensively. Maybe that's about opportunity for you. But where is your game right now?
Yeah, I like my game last year. I was coming off a couple injuries the past couple of years with surgery, so I think it took me a little bit to get into the groove of things last season, and then I felt I felt healthy the whole year. I felt more comfortable as the season went on, um, and I felt even better late in the year. Playoff push and the playoffs as well. So I was happy with my game, contributing a lot offensively late in this last quarter of the year in playoffs, and that was good momentum for me. Pretty confident now, and yeah, also want to make sure I take care of the D zone too. I take a lot of pride in that, face-offs, penalty kill, things like that.
One of the things that was cited is your face-off ability. What goes in to being a good face-off guy? There's a lot of obviously anticipation. You got to have some different ways to attack it against different players. Do you do pre-scout? What goes into a guy being a good face-off guy? I think it's important, especially key D zone face-offs at key times in games or offensive zone as well.
Yeah, I think I just realized early on. Even in London, they stressed face-offs a lot, the Hunters. So I think you realize how important it is. And I think that helps a lot. And usually, I mean, every team I've been on, there's only been two, but before every game, there's always video of the other team centers and how they like to take their face-offs and their techniques. So you could learn from that a little bit. That could help you. And yeah, there's always little things. Obviously, having experience being in the league 9 years, you learn from guys on your team or even playing against guys too. That could help a lot. So, I take a lot of pride in it. You'd always rather start the shift with the puck than chasing it around to get it back. So, I think I take a lot of pride in it, and want to continue to be really good at them.
Yeah, it's those details that are so important, especially for a centerman as well. What do you know about Philadelphia? You've obviously been in here as an opposition player, but what do you know about Philly?
Yeah, I've heard lots of great things. I've actually spent some time there after a knee surgery a couple years ago, and I wasn't in downtown Philly. I was in King of Prussia, which seemed like it was a great area.
Did
But
Dr. James Andrews do your surgery?
no, he did not do the surgery. I did the surgery in New York, but I did the rehab in King of Prussia with Bill Knowles.
Okay.
Yeah, he was unbelievable with that. So yeah, I love the area there. But yeah, being in Philly, like I said, I've heard lots of great things about playing there. Everyone loves it, and obviously, and the fans are really passionate too, and I think they're really hungry for the team to make it the next step here. So that's always nice too.
See, I think a lot of people see your name and they assume that you're not an American guy, that you're of Czech descent. And, we've seen the name Dvorak in the NHL before, but you're actually an American. You were born in Illinois and Illinois, I should say. Oh, I'm an idiot. I said Illinois. But are you a big, just sports fan in general?
Yeah, I love sports.
Big Bears fan?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been tough for a while here, but there's
Cubbies or Sox?
Cubs.
Nice.
So that's nice. Yeah, they're doing pretty well this year. But yeah, I'm a big sports fan. Love watching football, especially. Big fan of football. So
this town's got a little bit of a football problem with a drinking town.
Yeah, I know the fans love the Eagles there, and coming off a big Super Bowl is great for them. So yeah, big sports guy. Always played a bunch of sports growing up. Love watching sports. So yeah, I think I'll fit in nicely in Philly with how much they love the teams there.
Yeah, it's cool because like in a city like this, with four teams in each of the majors, there's just a buzz like almost all year round. If the Phillies could maybe go make a run, go to the World Series, you'll see that at the beginning of your season, which is awesome. The Eagles are perennial Super Bowl team coming off a Super Bowl win. We'll see what the Sixers do. We won't get into that, but and then you're in season as well. I think that like the success of other teams for a pro athlete can also a rising tide raises all boats. What a cheesy saying, but I think there's some truth to it.
Yeah, for sure. I think so too. And yeah, I think obviously we've talked about Philly, winning the Super Bowl. So I mean, it kind of, you know, being in Philly, you kind of want to, chase that as a hockey player, to win a
Yeah.
cup, and the fans are passionate for all sports there in Philly, and I think it's a pretty cool setup how they have all the stadiums right there. They're
Yeah.
all right next to each other. I feel like off the top of my head, I can't really think of another city that has that. So I think that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, the only one I kind of think of is Pittsburgh. I guess the arena is kind of close to Heinz Field
Yeah, that's
and
true.
PNC. It's maybe but then again, it's in Pennsylvania. Like they've kind of mimicked each other
Yeah.
with Three River Stadium and Veterans Stadium prior as well. You went and played for the London Knights, and you were a co-captain there with Mitch Marner in your time there. There's a Flyers prospect who I'll feature next week on an episode in Denver Barkey, who's the captain this past year of a Memorial Cup winning team. How much did playing for London sets you up for success in the NHL? Because you said, Dale Hunter and at London, they really preached, face-offs and learning. I think that they just set you up to be a pro. The way they treat the people, the way they treat the players, the responsibility they give them. And it's just, to me, it's a great stepping stone to go to the pro game. What did it do and help you?
A lot. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. They kind of, teach you how to be a pro while you're in juniors, and how to play a pro style game, and also all the facilities they have. The rink there is unbelievable. Lots of fans, obviously, and yeah, I mean they stress like how important the D zone is. Little things like I said, face offs, penalty kill and all that, and that's kind of stuff you don't really realize how important it is. Growing up maybe, but once you get there, they preach that, and that kind of sets you up how to be a pro, and that ultimately is what helps you make the league, and help teams win hockey games.
Your 19-year-old season there, it's Marner's 18-year-old season, his draft year. You had 121 points. He had 116. Did 59 games with 52 goals and 69 assists. You guys had a hell of a year that year in 2015-16, and that success kind of launches you into your pro career. I imagine that success and coming in to turn pro with those those are pretty gaudy numbers, Christian. that sets you up on a nice confidence coming in to play pro, no?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, that year was a lot of fun. Yeah, most of the year I was playing with Mitch and Matthew Tkachuk. So
Oh my God.
yeah, that was a fun line
How
to
much
play
space
on.
does he give you on the ice?
A lot, yeah, a lot. No, it was a lot of fun that year. Especially playing with those two guys. I mean, you could talk about their skill for hours, really. And
Bouchard on that team too.
yeah, 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 exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good shot to have up top on the power play with him, and yeah, we just had a lot of weapons, and went on a nice run there. Playoffs Memorial Cup. I think we lost 2 games the first round of playoffs and didn't lose a game since. So yeah, when you're winning games, it's a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
especially when you're that young, not really caring the world. It was a blast.
Last question for you. I've talked about this quite a bit on the podcast that I think it's important. We have a lot of scouts that are on Twitter, that prospect scouts and stuff, but certain things you can't see. And I always think that it's important through the interview process, whether it's with a guy you may draft or with a free agent, you got to find winners and not whiners, guys that are coachable and how guys interact on the bench and those kind of things. And, what is it? I mean, you had that success there in London to win a Memorial Cup, that magical, some people never get that magical season, but what is the difference? What is kind of the chemistry or the commonality of a winner for you?
Yeah, I think. I mean, there's a lot.
Like you see
I mean,
Matthew Tkachuk. I mean, like that guy changed everything in Florida by
yeah,
my outward looking, view.
no, for sure. I think you could tell with playing on like watching the Panthers. How like you said, how we changed that team, and the way they play, how selfless they are. They know everyone on the team knows what role they have, and it doesn't matter what what your name is on the back of your jersey. You're going to do whatever it takes to help the team win. And that was kind of I felt the same thing with us in London too. So having that good culture, everyone that just wants to win hockey games, no matter what your role is or how many points you have, anything like that, ice time. So I think all those things, being selfless, doing whatever it takes for the team, and that's what helps you be a winner.
Yeah, I think that was fully on display with the way, especially both years for Florida, but especially this year. I mean, they were just those guys just dying for each other. It was just incredible to see. I love seeing it because that's one of the things that I love about this game. Like there's, it's the group, the power of the group that means so much. So, Christian, welcome to Philadelphia, man. We're looking forward to it. Are you back on the ice yet?
Yeah. Started skating a couple of weeks ago. Yep.
And you just kind of slowly ramp that up into August, and then as you get close to captain skates in September.
Yeah, pretty much. First couple skates a little bit slower, just getting back into the groove.
Twirl of things, around a little bit.
Yeah. But no, now you're starting to ramp it up. Trying to improve on whatever you may be individually and on the ice and off the ice, and starting to ramp it up, and just trying to get better for the upcoming season here.
Well, I know Flyer fans are very excited about the season. We're not that far off from training camp, rookie camp, and everything will get underway once again for the grind of an NHL season, which I love and I can't wait for as well. But thanks for doing this. Best of luck the rest of the summer. Enjoy the rest of the summer, and we'll see you come fall.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Great to catch up with Christian Dvorak as he will be the newest Philadelphia Flyer, and already back on the ice, working on his game, starting to ramp up. We're getting to that time of year where guys start ramping up. Really, August is a big ramp up period, and then at the end of August into the beginning of September, so you see guys trickling back into town, joining those captain skates, and then we're starting to go, starting to look like hockey season's right around the corner. Why? Because it will be right around the corner. All right, let's have a great weekend, everybody, a safe one, and we'll be back Monday. Bill Meltzer will join us on a brand new episode of Flyers Daily.